Chang Wook had always been the man who lit up the screen with his charm, action, and charisma. But behind the confident smile and sharp jawline was a heart that had held onto a secret for far too long. A secret that involved someone who had once played his love interest and unknowingly captured his heart in real life. That someone was Hyun. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive fan stories and emotional reveals that will leave you speechless. It all began years ago when the two starred in the beloved drama Suspicious Partner. Their chemistry had fans buzzing nonstop. They were natural, effortless, like two puzzle pieces made to fit. On screen, their relationship bloomed with warmth, banter, and undeniable romantic tension. But what most didn't know was that something had quietly stirred behind the scenes. Something far more real. Back then, Chang Wook was just beginning to understand what made Hyun different. She wasn't loud or flashy. She didn't try to impress anyone. Her laughter was genuine, her kindness effortless, and she carried a quiet strength that drew him in. The way she treated everyone on set, from directors to staff, with the same level of respect made him look at her differently. He wouldn't admit it, but there were moments, late at night after filming, when he'd lie in bed, thinking about her smile longer than he should. Hyun, on the other hand, always respected Chang Wook's professionalism. He was warm, funny, and always made sure she felt safe and comfortable while filming. But she never imagined that what they shared on screen had echoed off-camera in his heart. She chalked it up to good acting, great direction, and natural flow. After all, he was Chang Wook, one of the most desirable actors in Korea. Why would he see her as anything more than just a co-star? When filming wrapped, fans begged for a real-life romance. Why can't they date in real life? Was a question that trended on forums for weeks. But then, as quickly as the drama ended, the two stars seemed to drift apart, at least publicly. There were no selfies, no interviews together, no signs of follow-ups. To the outside world, their spark had been left behind in the drama set. But to Chang Wook, that spark had never truly died. What fans didn't know was that shortly after filming ended, Chang Wook was preparing to enlist for his mandatory military service. The timing couldn't have been worse. Just when he was beginning to realize that his feelings were more than a passing infatuation, he was forced to step away from the spotlight. And so, he did what he thought was best. He kept his distance, buried his feelings, and focused on his duties. Hyun respected his decision and continued with her career. Though she missed the comfort and laughter they shared on set, she assumed he had moved on, like actors usually do. She starred in new projects, grew in confidence, and continued to shine in her own quiet way. But through the years, Chang Wook never truly forgot her. Every now and then, he'd come across an interview of hers. He'd smile when she mentioned her love for acting or when she spoke about her family. And on certain late nights, when the world was quiet, he'd replay their scenes from Suspicious Partner, not as an actor critiquing his work, but as a man missing someone who once meant so much. Fast forward to a few years later. Both stars had returned from their military commitments, had taken on multiple roles, and matured in the public eye. Yet, neither had publicly confirmed dating anyone. Fans occasionally speculated, but no solid proof ever surfaced. That was until Dispatch stirred the waters again. A blurry photo. Two shadows walking side by side under an umbrella. The internet exploded. Is that Chang Wook and Hyun together again? One fan tweeted. Are they dating for real this time? Within hours, both agencies released cold, standard responses. They're just close colleagues. But the spark had been reignited. And this time, Chang Wook wasn't planning to let it die out. Then came the press event that changed everything. Chang Wook had been invited to an award ceremony where he was being honored for his career achievements. Journalists expected the usual speech, thanks to fans, directors, and co-stars. But Chang Wook had other plans. As he took the microphone, he looked unusually serious. The room quieted. He began, "There's something I've been meaning to say for a long time. Something that I've kept to myself for years." Whispers filled the room. He continued, "Sometimes, when you work on a drama, you form bonds with your co-stars. And sometimes that bond becomes something more. But life happens. Timing gets in the way. Fear gets in the way. He paused, searching the crowd. And I've realized that staying silent only leads to regret. Then, with one deep breath, he dropped the words no one expected. I've always admired Nam Ji-hyun, not just as an actress, but as a person. And after all these years, I think it's finally time I admit it. I loved her then. I never stopped. Gasps echoed through the hall. The press nearly dropped their cameras. His manager looked stunned. The clip spread like wildfire across every social platform within minutes. Fans rejoiced. We knew it. We felt the chemistry was real. Others cried. But perhaps the one person more surprised than anyone was Nam Ji-hyun herself. She hadn't been there that night. In fact, she was filming overseas when the confession aired. Her phone blew up with notifications, missed calls, and headlines flashing her name next to Chang Wook's. At first, she thought it was a hoax, a mistake. But when she finally watched the clip, alone, in her hotel room, tears welled up in her eyes. Because deep down, she had always hoped he felt the same. The next day, her agency was bombarded with interview requests. What would she say? How would she respond? But she remained silent. Not out of fear, but out of thoughtfulness. Ji-hyun had never been one to act rashly. She wanted to talk to him in person, no cameras, no headlines, just the two of them. A few days later, fans spotted Chang Wook outside a quiet cafe. Moments later, Nam Ji-hyun arrived, hood up, face partially hidden. The paparazzi got a few quick shots before the couple disappeared inside. For 2 hours, the world held its breath. What was happening behind those doors? When they finally emerged, something had changed. They weren't holding hands. There was no dramatic kiss. But their eyes said everything. Calm, soft, full of quiet understanding. Chang Wook gently placed his hand on her back as they walked away together. Later that week, Ji-hyun posted a rare message on her social media. Some feelings are worth the wait. Thank you for your courage. I see you. I always have. Though she never mentioned his name, everyone knew. And when Chang Wook replied with a simple red heart, it was all the confirmation fans needed. No flash announcement. No agency statement. Just two people who had once shared a fictional romance, finally stepping into something real. As the media frenzy faded, what remained was something quieter, but far more powerful, a love story built not on headlines, but on years of silent admiration, mutual respect, and finally, the courage to speak.